What's going on, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with your free pick in the Rutgers versus Washington Week 5 college football matchup going down Friday, September 27th, 2024. Just a reminder, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our channel and smash that thumbs up. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games that I love, including my daily $19 best bet, head on over to Pickdawgz.com and click the Premium Picks tab at the top of the page. But let's get to this one between the Rutgers Scarlett Knights and the Washington Huskies. Rutgers coming into this one 3-0 on the year, 2-1 against the number, taking down Virginia Tech 26-23 in their last matchup, while Washington 3-1 on the year, 2-2 against the number after upending Northwestern 24-5. And Washington's taken on a bit of a new identity, which is a little bit odd to say under Jedd Fisch, because Fisch was known as a bit of an offensive coach last year with Noah Fafita and Teteroa McMillan in Arizona. But now you go to Washington, who's, like I said, looks like a new team. Obviously, not having Michael Penix Jr. as your quarterback, Kalen DeBoer as your head coach, will give you a new identity. But this is a Washington team that just has shifted to a more defensive-minded team. I mean, look at what this Washington defense has done. Now, granted, it's against the likes of Northwestern, Weber State, Eastern Michigan, and the loss to Washington State, but top 10 in total defense. Just outside the top 25 in rush defense, top 10 against the pass. So this is a solid Washington defense, and now they are facing a Rutgers offense that can run the football, and that's what they prefer to do. They're top 10 in rushing attempts per game, top 10 in rushing yards, and I think that Rutgers, it's going to be interesting to see if they can move the ball in this Washington defense. But even then, Rutgers, going back to the last couple of years under Greg Schiano, have been a hard-hitting defensive team, a hard-nosed defensive team, and not a team that's going to necessarily run up the score and rack up tons and tons of points. And I don't think that's going to be any different here. I think this is going to be sort of just a pound the rock situation from Rutgers and try to break through. But this is a Rutgers team that, yes, despite some, high scoring outputs against teams like Howard and Akron earlier this season, have really not found the red zone all that much. They've relied on a lot of explosive plays and sort of a lot of chunk drives to really, move the ball up and down the field, and haven't necessarily spent a whole lot of time in the red zone. And, Ethan Kaliakmanis has taken on a different, look since, being at Minnesota last year. He's more of a, throw for 100, 150 yards kind of quarterback. But we've seen him take steps forward. But, again, I still just, I don't have high hopes that this is an explosive Rutgers offense. Washington, on the other hand, they've got Aiden Childs to take over. Not Aiden Childs, pardon me. Will Rogers to take over. I'm still stuck on Washington teams in the past, but Will Rogers to take over from Michael Penix. But Rogers hasn't looked like the same quarterback that was a gunslinger at Mississippi State. And like I said, this is a Washington team that's kind of leaned on their defense, and I expect them to do that here. Especially when you look at Rutgers and how stout this Rutgers defense is. Top 40 in total defense. Top 20 against the pass. Now, Washington's rushing numbers aren't all that impressive, but they've rushed the ball at the third fewest amount of times per game. And that's why their rushing offense is outside the top 100. But rushing the ball is where you can attack this Rutgers defense successfully. And I think that that's something that we might see Washington do a little bit more in this game. To me, I think this is going to be just one of those black and blue, and it still weirds me out to say this, Big Ten matchups between Rutgers and Washington. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to get used to it. But either way, I think it's going to be a hard-hitting, low-scoring matchup. I see 23-20 either way. I'm going to go with the under 44.5 in this one. That's going to be my free pick. But just a reminder, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our channel and smash that thumbs up. And if you're looking for my best bets, you can find them at Pick Dawgz Premium. While you're Pick Dawgz, check out our betting tools. They're 100% free. They're the best betting tools in the business, and tools that you want to make sure that you have in your back pocket when you're making your best bets for the day's action. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon.